I forgot to unmute, but then I realized without chat telling me, this is my movie night. It's gonna be a movie Serenity. Hi, how are you? How's everyone? Hello, everyone. Cyber, hello. Ben, hello. Aki, hello. Aaron, hello. Congratulations on first. That's a word that I needed to say. Nick, hello. Who have I missed? Hoodies, hello. Closed caption, yeah. They're on? I think so. I think I turned them on. I didn't turn on Spotify, so we're just vibing with just my voice in silence. So that's fun. Let me turn on Spotify. Ben has a playlist called Hype Vibes that I've never played on my stream before. Are we in a Hype Vibes mood today? I know, oh my god, my day at work was wild. I'm hype, Ben. Popcorn? Oh, what kind of popcorn? Is it like Colonel's popcorn or movie theater popcorn? Do you DoorDash movie theater popcorn? We're in a mood, that's for sure. Cineplex, very good. I'm very jealous. We do not have a Cineplex in my community, so I need to drive like 40 minutes to go get popcorn if I want popcorn. We have two. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Anyways, my day at work was crazy. I asked my boss if I could leave at 5 so that I could get this done. I didn't tell him that it was because I needed to stream. I just said like, hey, can I leave at 5? Like, what if I'm done everything and can I leave at 5? And he said, sure. And then absolutely nothing went right. And of course I wasn't done at 5. So I watched the clock hit 8 o'clock and I was still adding the sources to Streamlabs. So if nothing plays, if nothing works, I apologize. I certainly tried my best. I hit go live at like 8:01. Can someone check, are closed captions working? Is my title correct? And did the go live go in my Discord? No. Cyber, I don't know which answers you're talking about. Closed captions. Yeah, they seem to be. I see captions. Okay, perf. I'm excited. Everything seems good. Okay, perfect. How's everyone? I need to breathe. This is also, when I bought this PC 2 months ago, I also bought a monitor to go with it. And this is the stream that I was like, I need to bring my second monitor to the office. All of the other streams that I've done, I've managed with one monitor, even though it didn't look great for me. But this is the stream. I was like, I need the second monitor. Here's oh. It's just, my second monitor is just the slideshow, and it's gonna be great. Now I'm crooked. It's fine. Spent so much money today and I'm mad about it. What did you buy, hoodies? What did you buy? Spoiler alert, it's the I posted that picture on Twitter yesterday. 6 out of 10 streams so far. Thank you, Nick. I'm so excited. I did my go live happen in my Discord because I don't want people to miss it. I don't want anyone that submitted to miss. It did go. Server announcement, I'm live. Perfect score. It is. That is really the best score there is. Hi Wizard, how are you? Who all submitted? There's 8 of you. Can I remember every single person? Wizard, you have 15 days. Get ready. Be ready. Be prepared. Okay. The first submission is North Sea. Not here, but I don't know what time it is where North Sea lives. So that's out of the question. The second one is Nick. Nick's here. The next one is Aki. Aki's here. Then Ben. Ben's here. Then Cyber's here. Wizard's here. Ken is here. Kim, North Sea. I don't know. They'll see the VOD. It's fine. Serenity, thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate it so much. I'm gonna have to leave in like 1 hour. So you're gonna miss yours, probably. I don't know how long the stream's gonna be. The first shleyjudges had like 20 something submissions. This one has 8. So I don't know, I have no idea how long this stream will be, but it's fine. My shirt has a potato on it. Do we like my potato shirt? The back, here, the back is about, Ace Potato Growing Company. It's from a company called T-Post, and it's the first wearable magazine, and the inside, how do I show this? The inside has an article on it, so you can read about this potato company. The inside has the article about this potato company written inside, and then the outside of the shirt is like a cool design with the potato on the front. So I didn't read the article yet, so it's on the inside. So yeah, that's just like a fun little thing that I enjoy about the shirt. Oh, should we get started? Is it time? It's what's on the inside that counts. Exactly. Should we get started? Should we jump right into it? Is this time? North Sea isn't here, and North Sea is the first one. So I feel bad, but that's on them. That's on them. I posted when I was going live. Trailers are starting now, exactly. North Sea knew what time this started, exactly. Sure, check what's on everyone's shirt. Yes, please, tell me everything about the clothing you're wearing. No, that sounds weird, how's this? You can see me, you can hear me? Everything is here? Critical Role shirt, very nice. I believe I've seen that shirt before somewhere. I don't know where. Who says we're wearing shirts? Hoodies? Hoodies, Sid. We're supposed to wear clothes? Serenity, oh no. I've collected, an interesting group of folks here. Oh, no one's wearing shirts, huh? Comfy hunter green sweater. Very nice. That sounds wonderful. I thought this was the naked watch party. I hate it. Please don't. In not a weird way, what 8 y'all's wearing? No shoes, no shirt, no stream. Exactly. We're not the ones streaming, so we're not legally obligated to. Fair. Got my pop shirt on. Very nice. PJ pants and a blanket. That sounds comfy. A queen sweater. Serenity, you're a queen. They're blue and plaid. Very, very basic white boy of you, Nick. Oh, how this escalated quickly. I know, I tried to start. And now we're here. Marvel PJ pants. Pants! Unplanned. Okay, sure, unplanned, except you knew you were gonna be here, so you can pretend it's unplanned, but I won't believe you. Okay, let's get started. I'm wearing my Batman socks for luck. For luck? Okay, they're basic, but they're also fuzzy. Fair. I only have 1 pair of PJ pants, Ashley. Buy more. Put them on your throne wish list. Are we prepared? Also, this is my mouse. This is my mouse on Canva. So if you see the blue dot, that's my mouse. Also, no one told me during my Chrono Trigger stream that my mouse was just in the middle of the game the entire time. Literally not a single person said in chat, hey Ashley, can you move your mouse? I would have if literally anyone said it, but I didn't know, so it was there. This hype playlist is maybe too hype, Ben. I don't know. It seemed like the least of your problems. Fair. Didn't even notice. Okay. You were going through it. Fair. Okay, let's go. shleyjudges. Chat's favorite superheroes. Let's get started. Oh. We have submissions from North Sea, Nick, Aki, Kim, Ben, Cyver, Wizard, and Ken. We have submissions from all of these wonderful, wonderful people. This is the order they're going in. This is the order they signed up in. So this is what happens. I stole people's Twitter pictures. So, but also I stole them months ago. If Aki has changed his profile picture since the last one, I don't know. I didn't go creep everyone if I already had their picture. Oh, thief, no. So these are all of our friends. This was to promote this stream. Aki has priorities, and they're good, okay? Oh, okay. Hey, that's my intellectual property you swiped. Speaking of intellectual property, none of you seem to care about if I'm going to get a copyright strike on this stream. We have theme songs, we have clips, we have an entire episode of the X-Men. We have a lot of things that are about to get me kicked off of Twitch. So, if I can never stream again, blame all of these people. It's all of their fault. Oh, okay, let's go. We have a special guest this evening. I didn't tell any of you. None of you know who it is. None of you have met this person. But we do have a special guest this evening. My coworker, Matt. I was at work this morning, and I said, Matt, you're a nerd. And he said, yeah. And so he's not really a Twitch guy, but I asked him his thoughts on each of these heroes, and he provided comments, and those comments will be provided before my final judgments. You can tell from this picture he is nerd. He like comic. He'll come into work and tell me what comic he read the day before. So this I know you all loved during the movie stream. I know you were all huge fans of when I had Brayden and Ken give their opinions on the movies. So I just thought I'd bring back that style and have a random person that you've never met before also judge your favorite superheroes. So we have a rubric to go off of tonight. We have a few things that I think make a good hero. Are they hot? Would I want their powers? Are they actually good, or do they destroy cities? Are they in fun medias? Is their human form a dork? And do they have a cool costume? There were also bonus points awarded for if they were a little guy, or if they have a little guy sidekick. So, this is what we're working with for our rubric. No one destroyed the city better than you. Listen. Also, hi Ken, welcome in. I saw you come in, but I was talking. Hi Ken. You are the last one. You submitted last, you are the last one. So you have to stick around for the whole stream. That's the law. It is what it is. All good, I have laundry on? Okay, perfect. So to recap, my favorite superhero is the Hulk. Just based off the rubric, I said, wowee. Big and strong. I could be big and strong like She-Hulk if I had the Hulk powers. For does he destroy cities, I put, listen, he's changed. He's actually changed. When they went back in time and had to be in New York again, he commented on how unnecessary the destroying of New York was. Thank you for pointing out a typo, Aki. I made this slideshow today at like 6 p.m. Is he in fun media? All the Marvel things? Yeah. He does have big dork energy, and does he have a cool costume? He is kind of naked. He's kind of naked. So we have the video from when I first described Hulk being my favorite. So that's our first video submission of the night, is just me talking about Hulk. So let's start with that. You're gonna tell me if you can hear me. You're gonna tell me if you can hear the video. You're gonna tell me if the video has double audio, and you're gonna tell me if it's too loud, okay? Let's start. So this is a mug that I own, and let's see what's next. The Hulk is next? What? Jeez, how did that happen? Hoodies, I'm gonna hydrate for you. Thank you for the hydrate, hoodies. I appreciate it. My favorite superhero is the Hulk. So honestly, when I saw the Avengers in theaters, when when Banner says, "I'm always angry," and then turns into the Hulk, that was the funniest thing. That was literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in a movie, and it stuck with me ever since. Like, I will just say "I'm always" and then an emotion, and that's my entire personality. With saying "I'm always angry." Like, my entire personality is misquoting that line. And was it yesterday? 2 days ago? I sent Kim this slideshow, and my best friend said she didn't know the Hulk was my favorite superhero. And I replied and said, Mark Ruffalo is actually my favorite superhero, but I can't put that. And she said I need to. And I really wish Mark had his own standalone Hulk movie, but I think there's like contract issues and stuff, and that's the reason that he doesn't have his own movie. But our good friend, pal of the channel, Aki, judged the Hulk. So I left that last bit in there, so that Aki could remember how rude he was to me about the Hulk. So let's just keep that in mind for later. We can remember bad things were said. So that's the Hulk. Wonder what score he got. What's his score? Oh, it's a 10? How got a 10? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We start the stream off with a 10 out of 10. I don't know how this happened. It feels rigged, but it couldn't be. It's just the first submission. And it's a 10. A 10 out of 10. So, yeah, that's Hulk. Next up we have Thor, submitted by North Sea. Hi Michelle, how are you? Thor C, yes, exactly. So, the music is gonna be in and out because I have to turn it off every time we switch between things. So that's just gonna be a thing we have to deal with. But we're gonna hear from North Sea to kick things off with our official first submission. Let's hear about Thor.
Good evening, Ashley and chat. I hope you're all doing well. So for this episode of Ashley Judges, I picked Thor, from the Marvel Comics and movies, as my favourite superhero. I think given my obsession with all things Viking and Norse related, it's kind of obvious why Thor might just be my favourite superhero. Bugger, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, it's like 3:45 in the morning at the time I'm recording this, so my brain is not functioning how it should be functioning presently. Anyway, so a bit about Thor. He's obviously based on the actual Norse god of thunder, fertility, purification, hallowing, and goat necromancy. From the Old Norse beliefs. But he differs in other ways from the original Thor, such as Marvel's Thor is blonde, whereas the original Thor is actually ginger. Marvel's Thor is regarded as the brother of Loki, which is not the case in Norse mythology. Crap, I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, so anyway, so Marvel's Thor has quite the interesting history within the comics itself. It gets very complicated. There's been fantastic storylines and stuff. Personally, I'm a big fan, in terms of the comics anyway, of the Gore the God Butcher story arc that they went with the God Bomb and stuff like that. But in terms of the Marvel movies, I'd probably say Ragnarok is my favourite Thor film. Because that and Chris Hemsworth just plays the role fantastically. And some other highlights from Marvel Thor's history is, stuff like where it turned out that he actually was two different Germanic heroes when he had to disguise himself as a mortal. And obviously in the Marvel comics he showed up in the Viking Age and stuff like that, which obviously I appreciate for various reasons. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna wrap it up there because my brain is going to go dead again soon and I really should get some sleep. Anyway, cheers for listening, and Ashley, I am very much looking forward to the 6 out of 10 at the most. Thank you and good night, everyone.
Norcy, you did such a good job. I appreciate that you didn't write a script at all. You just hit record and you were like, I'm gonna talk now. And it was very good. It was perfect. We appreciate you, Norcy. But as all things, we must move on. We must see the rating of Thor. So are they hot? I put it in the fire emoji. Maybe not a wowie, but they're at least a fire emoji. You can set stuff on fire with all of the lightning, so it's please explain. Listen. This is all personal opinion. So I don't know if I can move on. I don't know if I can move on from this because you're all mad at me, but he's at least a fire emoji, okay? It's not wowie. I just feel like if I saw a picture of him, I might respond with a fire emoji, but I'm not gonna say wowie, look at that. So that's that on that. When I want their powers, these powers killed Natalie Portman, and I'm not powerful enough to take that on, so I put, who would want to do that? Because, also spoilers. Spoiler warning. Sorry. Sorry. I just don't think I could handle these powers, because, like, if Natalie Portman can't handle the powers. I couldn't either. But the powers made it worse. The powers made it worse. So you're saying I get to be Thor and I get to die? Listen, maybe we have other things to deal with before we get Thor's powers, if that's our thought process here. Okay. I should move on from this. Are they good or do they destroy cities? Thor lands in the hello, New York? I looked up like what did the Avengers do? And I found an article called The 13 Best City Destruction Scenes in Movies. And as you can see, the arrow pointing there, Thor is named specifically in the New York City Avengers 2012 part of the article from we're just gonna ignore the other name that's there, but Thor is named specifically, so we're just gonna say he's under hello, New York, because he ruined New York all on his own by himself. So that's that on that. There's no allegedly here. This man was named specifically. Are they in fun medias? I put all the things. I love me a Marvel movie, so I will watch any Marvel movie. I saw Love and Thunder twice. Give me a Marvel movie, I'm gonna go watch it. So yeah, Thor's in fun medias. I liked it. I have fun. They're all fun. As North Sea said, I also think Ragnarok is the best Thor. If you disagree, you're wrong. Thor 1 was a little boring. It was hard to get through. But but they get better. They improve. They knew what they were doing with the character at Ragnarok, and then it got better from there. So that's how I feel about Thor in medias. Is their human form a dork? I think they're cool. I think the dorkiest thing I could think of for Thor was when he got really excited when he saw the Hulk and he was like, we know each other. That was like the dorkiest thing I could think of when I was trying to think, like, is Thor cool? Is he popular? I don't know, but so I think they're cool. Dude's a prince. Listen, maybe not all princes are cool, Nick. Do they have a cool costume? It's a cool Halloween costume. The hammer's part of it, but then he loses the hammer. He just has little wings on his helmet, but then he doesn't wear that sometimes, and sometimes he has a cape, and sometimes he just has like a leather jacket on. So it's a cool Halloween costume. If I saw someone dressed up as Thor for Halloween, I'd say, hey, you're Thor. But but that's how I feel. I don't know if it's like the most recognizable, but it's there. Anyways, let's just skip to the 6 out of 10. Also, wearing my I Hate Ashley shirt right now. It's worth noting. Ken, is that your laundry day shirt? Does Thor have a little guy? Absolutely. His little guy's sidekick is Loki. Loki gives off the most little guy energy ever. So Thor does get the bonus point for having a little guy because he has Loki. He invaded New York. Korg, true! Serenity, I didn't even think of Korg. Korg is also there. Korg is also there. Korg is Lil Guy, absolutely. And Meek, yes. Thor has all of the little guys. I just thought of Loki, but now we're spitballing in chat. We've got multiple little guys, multiple bonus points for Thor. So Matt's thoughts. When I told Matt that I was using his comments for my stream, I said, I'm gonna name the segment Matt's Thoughts, and he said you should call it Listening to a Loser, but I didn't want everyone to think I'm mean. So I stuck with Matt's Thoughts. So, Korg is bigger than Thor, but legit does have little guy energy. Exactly, you get the energy. You get the vibes. I have missed Matt's thoughts on Hulk. We don't need Matt's thoughts on Hulk. He said, while I enjoy what the movies have brought, I just can't connect with Thor character well. I have no interest in reading about him in comics. 6 out of 10. I didn't tell him any of the background of shleyjudges. He just pulled this out first superhero I asked him about. He pulled out a 6 out of 10. But what is Ashley's thought on Thor? Ashley gave Thor an 8! Congratulations, Norsey, on your 8 for Thor! You did a great job. I appreciated your voice now. You were calm, cool, collected, organized. You had all your thoughts together. But yeah, Thor got an 8. Congratulations. It wasn't a 6 out of 10. Is this the highest mark you've ever got, Norsey? I think I gave your album a 6 out of 10. What was your game? What was your movie? I forget. Is this your highest mark? Where does Matt live? I'm not telling you. Are you judging the superhero or the presentation? It's all mixed together, Nick. It's only gonna go downhill from here. You'll just have to wait and see. That's not what it's about. I'm the judge. I'm the judge. I'm the teacher, okay? Next we have Spider-Man, submitted by Nick. I would just like to tell you that Nick and Wizard are on thin ice because they both sent me a slideshow. I gave them both the opportunity to record it as a voice note. I could just toss it together. Neither did. So while presentation may not be on the official rubric, both have to consider that. Both have to put that into consideration. But we do have Spider-Man from Nick. I'm worried you'll see spoilers. Oh my god, I need to change it, but I'm worried you'll see spoilers. Okay, I'm going up here. I'm changing what's on the screen, but I don't want you to get spoilers on my slideshow. So, I'm opening Nick's slideshow. Here we go. We have Spider-Man as brought to you by Nick. Origin in comics. I also think this is all copy and pasted straight from the Wikipedia, but I'm gonna read it. Spider-Man is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, created by writer-editor Stan Lee and artist Steve Ditko. He first appeared in the anthology comic book Amazing Fantasy number 15 in the Silver Age of comic books. He has since been featured in films, television shows, novels, video games, and plays. Character details. Spider-Man is the alias of Peter Parker, an orphan raised by his Aunt May and Uncle Ben in New York City after his parents Richard and Mary Parker died in a plane crash. Lee and Ditko had the character deal with the struggles of adolescence and financial issues and gave him many supporting characters such as Flash Thompson, J. Jonah Jameson, and Harry Osborn, romantic interests Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane Watson, and the Black Cat, and foes such as Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin, and Venom. In his original story, Spider-Man gets superhuman spider powers and abilities from a bite from a radioactive spider. These include clinging to surfaces and ceilings, superhuman strength, speed and agility, and detecting danger with his precognition and ability called Spider Sense. He also builds wrist-mounted web shooter devices that shoot artificial spiderwebs of his own design that was meant to be used for shooting and trapping his enemies and web-slinging across the city. After the personal tragedy of his late Uncle Ben, Peter began using his spider powers to fight against crimes as Spider-Man. Nick, there's so much text on this slideshow, and I'm so mad about it. Oh, cultural significance. When Spider-Man first appeared in the early 1960s, teenagers in superhero comic books were usually relegated to the role of sidekick to the protagonist. The Spider-Man series broke ground by featuring Peter Parker, a high school student from Queens, New York, as Spider-Man's secret identity, whose self-obsessions with rejection, inadequacy, and loneliness were issues to which young readers could relate. While Spider-Man had all the making of a sidekick, unlike previous teen heroes such as Bucky and Robin, Spider-Man had no superhero mentor like Captain America and Batman. He thus had to learn for himself that with great power comes great responsibility, a line included in a text box in the final panel of the first Spider-Man story, but later retroactively attributed to his guardian, his late Uncle Ben. Maybe I've put the rubric before, but the project... Listen, I gave people the rubric. Shley, read faster? I'm trying my darndest, Cyber! Oh, Legacy! Ooh, Spider-Man included heavy doses of soap opera and elements of melodrama. Lee and DeCo had created something new in the world of comics, the flawed superhero with everyday problems. This idea spawned a comic revolution. The insecurity and anxieties in Marvel's early 1960s comic books, such as The Amazing Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, The Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, ushered in a new type of superhero, very different from the certain and all-powerful superheroes before them, and changed the public's perception of them. Spider-Man has become one of the most recognizable fictional characters in the world and has been used to sell toys, games, cereal, candy, soap, and many other products. Since 1962, hundreds of millions of comics featuring the character have been sold around the world. Spider-Man is the world's most profitable superhero. In 2014, global retail sales of licensed products related to Spider-Man reached approximately $1.3 billion. Comparatively, this amount exceeds the global licensing revenue of Batman, Superman, and the Avengers combined. Spider-Man is also one of the highest grossing franchise titles, being the highest grossing American comic book superhero with an estimated $25.6 billion worldwide. Whoo! Enjoy your lurk, North Sea. Ah! What Shley cares about? Are they hot? Would I want their powers? Are they actually good or do they destroy cities? Are they in fine medias? Is their human form a dork? Do they have a cool costume? Bonus points. Are they little or do they have a little guy's sidekick? Are they hot? Nick says yes. Spider-Man has been drawn by many different artists, played by several actors over his years in existence, and I feel confident in saying that regardless of what you're into, there will be a version of him that you can consider hot. Hot continued. Would I want their powers? Yes. Spider-Man's abilities include superhuman strength, agility, endurance, ability to stick to and climb walls and other surfaces, uses self-designed web shooters allowing him to fire and swing from sticky webs, special spider senses, warns of incoming danger, as well as genius-level intellect specializing in chemistry and invention. Powers continued. Spidey senses is going crazy. Are they actually good or do they destroy cities? Yes. In any conflict with superpower villains, there's going to be some collateral damage. It's unavoidable. Spider-Man's villains are no exception, oftentimes causing as much havoc as possible to force our hero into making a decision for the greater good. Spider-Man takes this into consideration and does his best to minimize that damage, utilizing his superhuman abilities as well as his own intelligence. One example of this consideration is the fact that he created web fluid that will dissolve after a certain amount of time, thus not leaving sticky stuff all over the city. That's very kind of him to do that. Actually good continued. Got that train, got that car, got that tower. Are they in fun medias? Yes. As mentioned earlier, Spider-Man is one of the most successful and popular superheroes on the planet, and as such, has seemingly endless amounts of media with his name attached to it. Some of the more notable ones include multiple movie franchises, a number of animated television series, critically acclaimed video games, and a cursed popsicle. Beyond all that, Spider-Man is easily one of the most memed characters in pop culture history. It's covered by chat, but the cursed popsicle, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's bad. It's there and it's bad. Is their human form a dork? Arguably, the most important part of Peter Parker's character is that he is in fact a giant dork. As is the case with many nerdy teenagers throughout time, he often finds himself doing embarrassing things or just generally being awkward. Nick, am I to watch this? Am I to play this video? Is this to be played, or is this just a reference that there's 5 minutes of him being a dork? You don't need to watch the video, but I included it as evidence. Okay, fair. Oh no! It just started playing. It just started playing. How do I go to the next... How do I go... There we go. Dork continued. The dancing scene is the most uncomfortable scene, ever? Maybe. Just because he got glasses on doesn't mean he's a dork, okay? Do they have a cool costume? Yes. Having been part of Marvel Comics for over half a century, Spider-Man has gone through many costumes changes, and they are in fact all very cool. The Spider-Man PS4 game gives you an idea of just how many iterations there are of the characters throughout time. My favorite one is the skeleton. That's my favorite costume. Dancing scene, not dorky. Dancing scene, uncomfortable. Costumes continued. Yeah, there's costumes. Bonus, Lil Guy? Yes. One could argue that even the main version of Spider-Man demonstrates Lil Guy energy, but if not, there are several other versions of the character that are clearly Lil Guys. Additionally, while not having a true sidekick, there are several heroes that Spider-Man mentors, all of whom fit the Lil Guy criteria. The peak of Spider-Man related Lil Guy-ness can be found in the animated series Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Bonus, Lil Guy continued. If you somehow still remain unconvinced and you want a true Lil Guy that's not another hero but a sidekick of sorts, then I present you Spider-Bot, a robot Spider-Man uses for tracking and surveillance purposes, generally in tight spaces. A true Lil Guy. Bonus, Lil Guy, again, a few more Lil Guys because they were cute and I wanted to include them. Closing. Spider-Man is arguably the most significant superhero ever created. The relatability of the character and his issues has attracted comic book readers for decades and throughout time. He's consistently been in the upper echelon of popular and marketable success. This is an easy 10 out of 10, Shley. Do the right thing. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. It is time to switch back to mine and see my thoughts. I have to return to my presentation and get to the right page. The face at the end. There's a difference between dorky and cringe. Serenity has the right idea. Too much reading. 0 out of 10, too much reading. Okay, I have to go back to the slideshow now. Okay, we're here. Oh, are they hot? I put lukewarm and use these as my examples. Nick, please don't time out people for 600 seconds. The score is a 10 out of 60. I don't know. We have, I mean, it is what it is. You chose the one version. I mean, I can't. I need to move on. When I want their powers, I put that seems like a bit much. I feel like I would get motion sickness or very dizzy. And if not for the web swinging and the being upside down and all of that jazz, I also wouldn't want spider senses because I already have anxiety. I don't need to know if there's danger near me because I already feel like there's danger near me 24/7. I don't need that enhanced. So I don't want to be motion sick, I don't want to be dizzy, and I don't want to be anxious. So no, I would not want Spider-Man's powers. Are they actually good or do they destroy cities? I put, is this building okay? And in this scene, I believe, I may be recalling incorrectly, but I do believe that this fight happened because someone didn't listen to his mentor and went on this trip anyways, and the fight broke out because he was there. And I just think if he had made a different decision, the boat wouldn't have been destroyed and we wouldn't have been in this situation. And that's... he did try to save the boat, but he's part of the cause. He is part of the cause, so I'll just leave that there. Is Spider-Man in fun medias? I put all the things. I do have a little Spidey Gwen back there. I love me some Spider-Gwen. But yeah, there's lots of things that Spider-Man's in. He's in Fortnite. He has his own game. He's in the movies. He's in multiple different movies. So yeah, Spider-Man's in fun things. I enjoy most of them. I hadn't seen any of the Tobey movies until like last year. My Spider-Man was Andrew. I do enjoy Tom's Spider-Man. I feel like Tobey's like, he's he's there, he exists, and that's a thing, but he's in fun videos. There's a lot of things. He's in fun things, okay? Is Spider-Man a dork? Yeah. Peter Parker is a dork. Some iterations more than others. I really don't think Andrew's Peter Parker is that dorky, but Tom and Tobey do a good job of portraying the dorkiness. They get it right. But most iterations of Peter Parker, he's a dork. And that's fine. We like dork. That's why it's the highest. Popular is the lowest. We have highest. Dork alert. I agree with this Garfield, too cool. Exactly. Do they have a cool costume? Yes, it's very recognizable, and it's also a cool Halloween costume. I included this as reference that Spider-Man is a cool Halloween costume, and it's very recognizable. You can very much have a store brand knockoff Spider-Boy, and you can still tell what it is. You see those colors together, you see the big spider on the chest, you know what the costume is. You know what we're going for. You know that it's Spider-Man. This is very recognizable. Have you seen Multiverses? Yes, I've seen Multiverse. Yes. Lola's guy. Yes. Absolutely. Does Spider-Man have a little guy? I initially said no. But now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm considering it, I think One second. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? Ned. I do think Ned has lil guy energy. But it wasn't an immediate first thought. Ned wasn't my first thought. I didn't think Spider-Man, lil guy. So I put no lil guy. Spider-Ham's kind of a lil guy, but he's too cool. He's too vibey, you know? He doesn't have quite lil guy energy. You're wrong by your own admission? No. I stick with what I say. This is no lil guy. No lil guy. So we have Matt's thoughts on Spider-Man. Great witty dialogue when done right and easily transfers over to multiple mediums. Several great TV shows, movies, and video games because he is such a relatable character. Fun fact, a comic issue for Spider-Man dealing with him responding to help drug users actually changed the comic industry quite a bit because they released it without permission of the Comics Code, an overseeing government body during the Nixon-McCarthy era that tried to keep the youth safe by censoring comic books. 9 out of 10. See, Matt gets it. Matt does get it. He gave me little tidbits, little facts that I didn't know. I learned more in this slide than I learned in the entire slideshow from Nick, so Matt gets an A+ here. I don't know what Nick's gonna get. But we're just gonna go to the next slide and see what I gave Spider-Man. An 8! Congratulations! You got an 8, Nick, for your first submission to a shleyjudges stream. You got an 8 out of 10. I see upset some people in chat, but that's fine. Not all of us are going to agree. We can't all agree on our superheroes. 2 8s, am I in the wrong stream? The 8 streak ends now, does it? Does it, Aki? Does it? Next up, we have Batman, submitted by Aki. We also need to strap in, because Aki submitted a movie. We have a movie coming up. We all need to just be prepared. This is gonna be an adventure. I made a movie, you did. Serenity, thank you for the 88 bits. I appreciate it. Movie night, it is. It is absolutely a movie. Okay, voice twin time, let's go. Be calm to my boy. I will try. I will try. Be prepared. We're settling in for the next 15 minutes. 14 and a half. Let's get ready.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another shleyjudges stream. I'm super honored to be here. These are always so much fun to do. Today is one that I've been looking forward to. It's our favorite superheroes. So today I have chosen Batman as my favorite superhero. He's a superhero that I have always been a big fan of from a very early age, maybe like 4 or 5 in the 90s when I was first introduced to him through the Batman the Animated Series. And yeah, I've been a huge fan ever since, and it was probably my introduction to superheroes, comic books, all sorts of nerdy things since then, and I've only become more and more of a fan over the years. So I'm really excited to be here to talk about Batman today. So I'm going to do things a little differently this time. I've got this special video presentation that I've put together as a little treat for you guys. I've been working really hard on it. It's finally done, and I finally get to show it off to you guys, and I'm really excited, so I hope you like it. So without further ado, let's play the video. Enjoy.
We're ready.
I know you're here, Sixer.
You're just in time, Batman. I was just about to rate this portrait of the Wayne family a giant 6 out of 10.
I won't let you get one drop of paint on that portrait.
You're too late, Batman. I'm up here and you're all the way down there. You can't stop me now. I knew I should have brought more than one spray can. You'll pay for that.
Don't try it.
Hi-ya! See ya around, Batman.
Not so fast, Sixer. Now let's see who you really are.
Wait! No!
Shley Taylor. But why?
Because the 10 out of 10s of society think they're so much better than everyone else. I won't rest until I've rated everything a 6 out of 10, and when everyone's the same, no one will be better than anyone else. And there will be peace.
No. There will be chaos. Anarchy.
Spoken like a true 10 out of 10.
You really think I'm a 10 out of 10?
Of course, Batman is a 10 out of 10.
Hey guys, Artataki here. Just want to stop really quick and point out that this character right here is actually voiced by our very own Shley Taylor. Now, this character has just said that Batman is a 10 out of 10. Therefore, I have voice recording evidence that Shley Taylor thinks Batman is a 10 out of 10. Therefore, Shley Taylor gives Batman a rating of a perfect 10 out of 10. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, fine, that's not the real presentation. I'll do it the right way and follow Ashley's rubric. So, Batman is a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, genius, that type of character, you know? And, well, you don't really get to be that character unless you're on the attractive side of things, it would seem, for the comic book genre. They always tend to, you know, hypersexualize characters and make them ridiculously good looking.
Really ridiculously good looking?
And that's just how they look when they're drawn. Now, we also have some of the actors that have played them over the years, including Mr. Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, George Clooney, and Robert Pattinson. These are good-looking guys. I am comfortable enough with myself to admit that these are very attractive men. In fact, People magazine has ranked at least 2 of the actors that have played Batman over the years sexiest man alive. That's in a magazine now. Magazines are basically books, and if you can look something up in a book, it is no longer opinion, it is now fact. Therefore, hell yes, Batman is hot, and you can't even argue with it anymore. So if Shley says this is anything less than a 10, she's wrong, because it's in a book. You can look it up. That's just the rules. I don't make the rules. On to our next topic. Would you want their powers? So, the question here is, would you want to have Batman's powers? Well, in somewhat good news, Batman doesn't have superpowers, so technically, you already do have his powers. But, of course, I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive than just that surface level and find out what his powers really are. So many people think that Batman's superpower is that he's rich. That's a pretty good superpower. I would want that superpower. I would be okay with that. But if all it takes is to be rich, then why aren't there so more Batmen out there in the world right now with all the rich people that we have? Where are they? Where are these Batmen? Well, I think we can go a little bit deeper than just him being rich, and that is he had his parents killed in front of him at a very young, early age in those formative years that caused him to swear vengeance on all criminal activity in Gotham City and dedicate the rest of his living life to fighting crime and righting wrongs for every waking hour and every breath for the rest of his life. So I think that's where his real power kind of comes from. It's ironic, you know? He could save others' parents from death, but not his own. So just to recap, either you have 2 parents, but no money, or you could be Batman and have no parents and 2 money. And that's what makes Batman a Batman. So would you want their powers if it means being rich and having your parents killed in front of you? Probably not. Probably not. Brings us to category 3. Are they actually good, or do they just destroy their city? So is Batman actually good? I think so. I think Gotham is a better place because of Batman. I think that it would be even worse without him, where crime could just run free. It's still a very crime-ridden city, but I think it's better because of Batman. Now, a lot of people have some debate on where exactly the alignment chart that Batman falls. Some people say he's chaotic good because he works outside of the confines of the law to fight crime. But a lot of people say that because he has this unbreakable rule that he does not kill, it could potentially make him lawful good. So there's some debate of just how good he is, but I would say either lawful or chaotic good. So I think Batman is definitely a good guy. Now, there's this really cool quote that the Joker said. This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? You won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness, and I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever. And I think that's a really well put summary of what Batman is, because he cannot kill his enemies, and this just causes this endless cycle of violence where he catches them, puts them in Arkham, they escape, more crime, he fights them again, back in Arkham, and it's just this endless loop over and over again, and they're just doomed to do this forever. And the Joker doesn't even want to kill Batman. He doesn't even want to know who he is, because he's just having fun. Is really cool. So are they actually good? I mean, he fights bad guys, and he doesn't kill people. So he must be pretty good. But at the same time, he possibly inadvertently creates the villains he fights, and creates this non-stop, endless cycle of violence. So is Batman actually good? Maybe. I think he is. I would say yes. I think so. So on to category 4. Are they in fun media? So is Batman in fun media? I think this is a really easy category because the answer is an absolute yes. Because he's in all sorts of video games with the Batman Arkham Asylum games, all sorts of comic books, endless amounts of comics and graphic novels that are absolutely fantastic, bunch of TV shows, including Batman the Animated Series, which is actually really well done. The movies that he's been in are all fantastic. You can't think of a single bad movie that Batman has ever been in. I don't think you can think of one. Like, I challenge you to think of a bad Batman movie. You can't be done. Can't do it. Can't do it. Doesn't exist. And yeah, that brings us to our next category. Is their human form a dork? So is Batman's human form a dork? So Bruce Wayne is a bit of a scientist. He's definitely a very smart genius of a person, but I think being a dork goes a little further than that. I think it goes into their personality as well. And if they have these quirky little personality types, kind of like a Peter Parker. I would say Peter Parker is a dork, but Bruce Wayne is much more reserved, calculating, that dark, brooding type that just doesn't fit that dork type. So yes, he is a scientist, but I wouldn't say he's a dork. There's even some scenes in the movies where he wears glasses and is in his laboratory on this computer, but he still makes it look cool. So is he a dork? No, I don't think so. I think Batman's a pretty cool guy, and I would not call him a dork. To our next category, do they have a cool costume? Does Batman have a cool costume? Absolutely. Like, just look at this. This is Ben Affleck's costume of the Justice League. Look at that costume. That is so cool. You got this one from the graphic novels. That's a cool costume. There's Christian Bale. Even Adam West. I don't care. Cool costume. You got Robert Pattinson. Very cool costume. And then, of course, Michael Keaton's very cool costume. There's the animated series. It's all the same. Slight differences. But yes. Yes, he has a cool costume. And that brings us to a quick bonus round. Are they little? Ashley loves her little guys. As we know, Batman is 6'2" and 210 pounds. Does that make him little? According to Shley, yes, that is a little guy right there. That's a little guy. Now, do they have a little sidekick? I mean, everyone knows that Batman has his Robin. He's a little guy, right? Right? Maybe not, because Robin does grow up to be Nightwing. He's not exactly what you would call little guy. However, his measurements are 5'10" and 175. And if we know that Batman, according to Shley, is a little guy, then with Robin, we can safely say that he is, in fact, a little guy. So, is Batman little? Does he have a little sidekick? Yes and yes. So that is about all that I have prepared for my presentation on why Batman is my favorite superhero, according to Shley's rubric. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it together and presenting it. These are always so much fun. I always love being here, and thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great night.
Okay, so that was Aki's. I lost my voice in the 14 minutes that took. Now Ashley's gonna make a mess of it, huh? First off, the comic, amazing. Second off, Aki sent me the script and said, "Can you voice this?" I said, "Absolutely." But when I went into the studio to voice it, my coworker was in the next studio to me on air. And in the script, there was a line that said, "Battle cry." And I tried my best, but there's just one wall between the studios. And, when I sent my voice recording, I was like, "You're gonna need to get another battle cry because this is no good. This is no good." But yeah, that was amazing. But let's see what I think of Batman. Are they hot? Lukewarm. I'm scared of this man. He terrifies me. So I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm scared of Bruce Wayne too, but it doesn't make him not hot. Listen. He's scary, okay? Would I want their powers? And I said, that seems like a bit much. While I would indeed like to money, I don't like how he got there. Also, sometimes there's a scene of him giving himself stitches, and it makes me nauseous, and being able to do stitches on yourself seems like a power to me, and I don't want that. I do not want that. So while it would be cool to be the rich underground superhero, I don't want to go through the process of becoming the rich underground superhero. So I didn't want to go watch an entire Batman movie to find the scene, but I know he's in this little bat cave and he's like stitching his arm up or something, and Alfred comes in and is like, "Oh, what happened to you?" And that scene makes me so uncomfortable, so nauseous. So that's that. Are they good or do they destroy cities? And I said maybe they ruined a thing or two. Because I know he doesn't want to kill, but I feel like that through not killing the Joker, he's allowed more harm than one little life sentence for murder. So it's just like, go for it, Bruce. Just do it. Just get rid of him, you know? Do a better Alfred impression. No. So I think Batman should just murder the Joker, and then there's no more Joker. So are they in fun medias? All the things. Some of the movies do blend together in my head. Like, when was Bane? Was that the one with the pit? What was that storyline with the pit anyways? Was that even Batman? But I do enjoy watching them, and they're good background noise, and sometimes Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it, so stitches make me uncomfortable, but murder is good. So yeah, Batman's in fun things. Batman is in fun things, but I had a little rum and eggnog when about a couple hours ago, and I still had to finish this, and I feel like I made this slide when it started to hit, because I just started typing, and that's what came out. When I started typing, and this is what happened. So what's the point of all the push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log? Is that a thing that he says? Okay, let's go. Is their human form a dork? Oh no, they're popular. You can't tell me this man's a dork. Look at him. I'm terrified of him, and I feel like he'd bully me. If I went to school with Bruce Wayne, he would bully me. So I don't like that, and he's popular, and I don't like it. That's not for me. I don't like popular people, okay? Do they have a cool costume? I put very recognizable, and then I put, oh no, that's Darkwing. But yeah, Batman does have a very recognizable costume, except for when, other people steal it. We would all bully you too. Ow! Ben, I'm glad you were here for this. I added this specifically for Ben, but yes, Batman does have a recognizable costume, but sometimes it gets stolen. So, you know. Does he have a little guy? Yes. I was looking for a picture of JGL, and I typed in Robin, and I was scrolling through, and this picture of Robin gave off the most lil guy energy out of every single picture on the Google results. So this is what I chose. Yes, Batman does have a lil guy, and it is Robin. Matt's thoughts. Matt says, 10 out of 10, no powers, no problem. World's greatest detective and some of the best multimedia adaptations of all time. Spearheaded the darker comic book hero in comics through Frank Miller's 80s run of Dark Knight Returns and Year One, and then Tim Burton's take on him in 89, followed by Nolan, and then the modern era. Oh no, Matt's one of them. Oh no! So what does Ashley think of Batman? A 9! Congratulations, Aki, on your 9 for Batman. Welcome in, Dodgers. How are you? What? Shocked. Oh no. How could I... Listen. Did you see the comic? How could I rate it anything lower than a 9? She really rated it an 8, but it's a +1 for the presentation. Wizard caught me. Was just gonna say it's an upside down 6. It is an upside down 6, but it's a 6, but I'm in it, so 9. Tell us who the real Ashley is. I was feeling nice today. I also had a rub and eggnog before I gave all the ratings. So Moon Knight, submitted by Kim. Kim's not here. And Kim hasn't answered my texts for hours. Hours. I texted her. We were talking all day. We text all day. We were talking. We were chatting. And then I said, at 6:44, I said, I'm streaming in 1 hour and 15 minutes. I will call you out if you don't have a submission, just so you know. She hasn't answered. She's never gonna speak to me again. Kim submitted Moon Knight and did not give me a submission. So we don't know Kim's thoughts on Moon Knight. We know he's her favorite superhero. And we have nothing to go on. She did not try and sway me anyway, because she gave me nothing. So instead of going to Kim's presentation, we're going straight into my rating. Are they hot? Wowie. No, I put the fire emoji. But then I put little eye emojis down at the bottom. I was not mad watching the show. I didn't have complaints during the show. It's like a hot Mark Ruffalo Serenity! You can't just say that! You can't come in here and say that in my channel! You can't say that! That's not allowed here! Unacceptable! Anyways, yeah, fire emoji. Would I want their powers? That seems like a bit much. Having a god speak to me all the time would get a little annoying sometimes, I think. So that's... I don't think I would have fun. I already have... I'll take my 600-second mute. I just don't think maybe I would want to have a big god talking to me all the time, you know? So... are they actually good or do they destroy cities? I put, is that building okay? He ruined that museum and probably other things too. Same with the whole disorder. Yeah. Yeah, that part too. I swear I googled the museum and I found a picture of the museum all broken up. Didn't put it into the slideshow, but I put more effort into this than Kim did. And that's all I'm saying. So, are they in fun medias? Just one or two things. The comic and the show. Is there a second season? Was it standalone? I don't know. Also have no idea. So, is there more? I didn't Google it. Oh, hi Joseph. How are you? Welcome in. Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Is their human form a dork? Dork alert. He works in a museum gift shop and is just very excited about all the history and everything. So yeah, his human form's a dork, and we love him for it. He loves to tell people about the history and all of that jazz. Do they have a cool costume? I put cool Halloween costume, but I don't know how you would make this Halloween costume, and also there's two different versions. He gets two different superhero versions, so it's pretty exciting. He gets two costumes. How many people get two costumes? That's all I'm saying. Does he have a little guy? Yes! Yes, he does. That giant god I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he has a little guy. He's fine. Sometimes he just like sits on top of a building and he's all scrunched up and he's just there. He's giving little guy energy. But wait, there's more. Another god. This giant hippo woman. Yeah, little guy. Only the largest one. Oh, so yeah, Moon Knight has two little guys. Matt's thoughts. Can't say a lot, honestly. Know nothing about the character other than the TV show, which I didn't finish. No rating. If Kim submitted something, I could have shown Matt Kim's presentation, and then he would have something to base it off of, but he said he didn't finish the TV show because his wife wasn't interested in it, and he doesn't watch shows alone. So his wife stopped watching it, and then he was like, I'm out. I'm done. So that's all we have. That's all we have. I gave him a 7. I really enjoyed the show, but like, I feel like I don't have much more to go off of but I enjoyed the show and I do want a tattoo from the show, but I'm worried. It's what if I hate it later, so you know, a 7 for now. Maybe later that will change, but Moon Knight for now, it's a 7. Next up we have Invincible, submitted by Ben. I think I'm going to take a quick little break before we get into Ben's video. It's another doozy. We've got another doozy coming up, so we're gonna take a little break. Everyone, if you don't have popcorn already, maybe go get some popcorn, refresh your beverages, do all of that jazz. I'll be back in about 3 minutes, and we will watch Ben's video. I'll be right back. Posture check, thank you, Travis. I always sit like a little gremlin, so I'm gonna sit up. Oh! I'm fine. My armrest wasn't where I expected it to be. Oh, it's so quick! It's not on the icy space. I had it on hot tamale, but I want it on the ice speed. Oh no, it is skipping a beat. I don't know what to do anymore. I have lost words in my brain. I don't have any more words in my brain to go with the song I'm singing. I don't know how to words. The heart's gonna break. I think I'm doing okay. Every time I say I'm doing okay, I immediately lose it. Thank you, Byron. Don't clip that. And my alarm's going off, but that's not gonna throw me off. That's not gonna throw me off at all because I'm concentrating on this game. We're staying concentrated on the game, and it's fine. It's fine because we are concentrating and nothing's gonna throw us off. Nothing. Nothing's gonna throw us off. How do we do? Why? I don't have any of the special emojis. Stream of consciousness and alarm goes off. 94! Laughed, like when you touched its stomach, it was like hee 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 hee. I'm back! Hello! How's everyone? Are we prepared to watch Invincible by Ben? We have another 14-minute video coming up, so buckle in, get ready, be prepared to hear from Ben about his favorite superhero, Invincible.
The thing is, you're different. You actually are invincible.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben, and today we're going to talk about Invincible, my favorite superhero and the star of the successful comic book series and animated show of the same name. Invincible, or Mark Grayson, is an Image Universe superhero created by writer Robert Kirkman, also the creator of the Walking Dead series, and main artists Cory Walker and Ryan Ottley. Born in 1987, Invincible is the son of Omni-Man, an extraterrestrial superhero of the Viltrumite race. In a coming-of-age story, Invincible inherits his father's complete array of superpowers, and he swears to protect the Earth. As a teenager, he has trouble adjusting to his newfound powers, and coping with the reality of his origins. The comic series began publication on January 22nd of 2003, concluding on February 14th of 2018. Aww, the series ended on Valentine's Day? How sweet. A television series adaptation began streaming on Amazon Prime Video on March 25th, 2021, to critical acclaim. So, more backstory for our hero. Mark Grayson was born to Nolan Grayson, a Viltrumite male, and Deborah Grayson, a human female. When Mark was just 7 years old, his dad told him that he was an alien from a different planet, and also the world-famous superhero known as Omni-Man. Mark was told that the Viltrumites are virtually a race of peaceful supermen. Mark learned that his father had come to Earth to protect it, and that one day Mark would develop superpowers like Nolan. Every single day since that moment, Mark has just been waiting for his powers to develop. And then one day, in his senior year of high school, while working at his part-time job, he sent a trash bag flying through the sky.
It's about time.
Nolan eventually had his friend Art make Mark a superhero costume, but Mark needed to choose a name first. After protecting a classmate from being bullied, he was sent to the principal's office, who commended him, but warned him that he isn't invincible or anything. Mark liked the name, and decided to use it for his superhero identity. And thus, Invincible was born. To me, Invincible feels like a cross between Superman and Spider-Man. Or like maybe if Superman had a baby and then that baby grew up to be Spider-Man? I don't know. He's really cool either way. I first became familiar with Invincible by watching the animated series. It truly feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, complete with a monster of the week and or a team up with a new superhero character. However, this series is very clearly developed for a mature audience, with an irreverent sense of humor, and enough violence to make even Tarantino proud. Audiences praise the show for its animation, action sequences, storyline, writing, voice acting, and overall faithfulness to the original comics. The cast includes Stephen Yen, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Gillian Jacobs, Walton Goggins, Zachary Quinto, Seth Rogen, Mark Hamill, and even Reginald Vell Johnson, as a character based on himself. Just look at this star-studded lineup. The series has been confirmed for a second and third season. I'm very thrilled to see how this next season shapes up, since the first one was so enjoyable. You should definitely check it out if you have the opportunity. The comic book series is even better and clearly a send-up of the comics and the superheroes that came before. It almost borders on parody. There's even a team that's obviously a copy of the Justice League called the Guardians of the Globe. But it's done so well that the series is clearly a love letter to these tropes that have become so familiar to us as fans. Things like the secret identity, the kid sidekick, the anti-hero, puberty superpowers, the loss of superpowers, the rogues gallery, freak lab accidents, alien invasions, multiple dimensions, the kryptonite factor, cyborgs, kaiju, and time travel based reboots are all cleverly incorporated in an impressive plotline that spans 144 issues over the course of 15 years. There's even an evil costume switch. Well, it's not really evil, but you get the idea here. There's just a little bit of everything. And it's accomplished with style, wit, and plenty of love. Just listen to some of these superhero names that he came up with. Adam Eve, Rexplode, Shrinking Ray, Duplicate, Multipol, just to name a few. What's not to love here? In addition to how cool and awesome this series is on a surface level, it maintains really strong themes as well, the most obvious being family. I find Mark's relationship with his family to be very interesting. The way his newfound powers can change the dynamics of the household, while seemingly everything else is the same. He has the ability to easily float around his home while his mom Debbie scolds him and reprimands him from any flying in the house. I have to say, Mark's relationship with Debbie is my personal favorite. She's a regular human with no powers, and whilst a caring and loving mother, she still firmly maintains her authority status as a parent over Mark, even after he becomes a superhero.
Get inside right now.
Make me.
Does that make you feel strong? To know I can't physically make you do something, is that what you need?
It's really admirable the way she stands her ground against superhumans. And then you have Omni-Man as his dad. They play games of catch amidst jumbo jets, race each other to Mount Everest, and Nolan does his best to shape the young Mark into the superhero he believes he can be. He's almost like this stereotypical sports dad pushing his child headfirst into physical activities. At the end of the day, this story is about the Graysons, how they grow and change as a family. The flashy superhero antics are just a vehicle for that story, and a very interesting way to convey these themes to the viewer. The way that Kirkman explores these themes, these tropes, these stereotypes, and blends them into his own world is highly impressive. It never feels stale. In fact, it feels very fresh and new. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of rebooted, rehashed origin stories from the same handful of heroes we've seen again and again and again. Invincible is everything you know and love about superhero sagas, reimagined in a brand new tale with a huge, colorful cast of friends and foes, spanning from an ordinary high school to the vast reaches of space and beyond. It truly is an incredible story to experience, and I highly recommend it to anyone with an interest in comic book superheroes. The good news is that the comic series is complete, with a definitive ending, and in my personal opinion, the ending is quite good and truly satisfying, with a strong sense of closure while maintaining the possibility for future endeavors. Okay, now let's move on to the rubric for this topic, which includes 6 questions and a potential bonus point. Number 1, are they hot? Mark is a very good-looking young man. He's always been in good shape, and after receiving his powers, he becomes even more physically fit without being too jacked in the muscle department. He's got a wonderful smile and great hair, and the costume does not hide this at all. He's never been a huge ladies' man, but he does have several love interests throughout the lengthy story, so he definitely knows how to impress the opposite sex with his charms and romance. So good on you, Mark. We're proud of you. Number 2, would I want their powers? Well, let's see. Invincible's powers include superhuman strength, stamina, and speed, nigh invulnerability, the ability to fly, enhanced healing factor, and decelerated aging. So yes, definitely big yes. These powers all sound good to me. I mean, he's practically invincible. Number 3, are they actually good or do they destroy cities? Invincible is an inherently good character. He constantly tries to fight for what he believes is morally right, even going against the grain of authority at times. However, Mark is still growing up and learning, so he may be misguided or misinformed from time to time. He still does right by the innocent bystander whenever it is within his power. He also faces the issue of inevitable collateral damage when he faces off against his more powerful opponents. Still, Mark justifies this by focusing on the greater good that will follow once dispatching these mega villains. He always seems to carry a huge sense of guilt associated with those he couldn't save, very similar to Peter Parker's persistent guilt surrounding Uncle Ben's death. Number 4, are they fun in media? Mark is a pretty funny guy. He's got quips and one-liners on par with Spider-Man.
I guess I'm working on that.
Well, most of the time, he's still working on his catchphrase. But the point is, Invincible has a habit of making light of very tense situations. He's still just a kid after all, and he's brutally honest. He never misses an opportunity to sum up everything quite briefly in a one-word response like, weird, gross, neat, cool, lame, wow. Very typical for a teenager. It can be pretty annoying to his enemies, but that's what makes it fun for the audience to watch. He's just clowning around like any kid would, while everyone else is taking these grave situations very seriously. It makes for an interesting contrast. Number 5, is their human form a dork? Oh my god, yes, Mark can be such a dork at times.
Morning.
I mean, he spent most of his free time before his powers just reading comic books. And his favorite comic is called Science Dog. Like, come on. You can see here that the show changed it to Seance Dog, I'm pretty sure because Kirkman didn't want anything concrete regarding Science Dog and Amazon. But anyways, Mark doesn't play sports or have any unique hobbies. I think because he knows his powers will come any day, he would rather just wait for that. Even after getting his powers, his dorky side still persists. Most evident when he spends time with his best friend William, who can be an even bigger dork than Mark. Wait a minute, I read comics on my free time. Did I just call myself a dork? Number 6, do they have a cool costume? The original costume is insanely solid. It's simple, yet sleek and stylish. The light splashes of blue and yellow both complement each other very well, and the black is there to fill the rest out while remaining sharp. Fingerless gloves for an extra cool factor, And the goggles are, well, they're goggles? I guess they protect his eyes? Anyways, the rest of it is super awesome. Mark gives his costume designer Art one simple request.
But I was really, hoping for something more, I don't know, iconic?
Of course you were. That's what everyone wants. Iconic. A symbol. Something kids will draw on the margins of their notebooks while they daydream about being as cool as you.
And I believe Art is successful in that delivery. Also, don't judge me, but it took me way too long to realize that that's a letter I on his costume for Invincible. Also, the new dark costume is extremely cool as well, making Mark's overall look even simpler, yet more stark and dramatic. The new change was conceived to celebrate the comic's 50th issue, but don't you worry, he goes back to the original costume after a very brief stint. And bonus round time, do they have a little guy sidekick? Now, without going into too much detail, Invincible gains a faithful sidekick in the form of Kid Omni-Man, aka Oliver. Oliver was originally introduced as a baby, so yeah, pretty much the epitome of a little guy sidekick. And he has all the same powers as Invincible, with the addition of accelerated growth during his formative years. Basically, he grows up to be a powerful kid and an effective sidekick for Mark in a very short time, which is good news for Mark because he can always use the extra help. There you have it. Thank you for listening to my summary on what makes Invincible my favorite superhero. He's a fun kid with a good heart and immense power, thriving in a beautiful crafted pastiche, which serves as a love letter to the superheroes we grew up with. And what's not to love? Take care.
So that was Ben's video on Invincible. Very good. Hi Kim, welcome in. You are in trouble. Ben streamed the first episode of this in my Discord, so I've seen the first episode of it. Also, I gave everyone the opportunity to stream anything that had their hero in it. And Aki sent an episode of Batman that he wasn't in. It was the origin story of Harley and the Joker. And Batman just wasn't in the episode. So that happened. But yeah, Ben streamed the first episode of Invincible, so I have some knowledge on Invincible. So let's see what I think of Invincible. Are they hot? I put the fire emoji and I said the hair is very impressive. I appreciate that they kept the mask so that it wouldn't cover the hair, because the hair, it's good. That's good hair. I do like the hair. So yeah, there's a fire emoji. Already rigged the system with the comic, just mailed it in after that, basically. Would I want their powers? Maybe a few of them. Flying would be fun, but having to protect literally all of Earth seems like a bit of a pain. I don't know if I'd want to have superpowers if it involved having to deal with all of that garbage, you know? Sometimes I just want to have a nap. I don't want to have to look at the entire Earth. So I wouldn't mind flying, but I don't want to have to look after all of the Earth, you know? Are they actually good, or do they destroy cities? I said, maybe they've ruined a thing or two. I have only watched the first episode, but I said, I think through being related to this man, he has crimes to pay for, even if he didn't commit them. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Are they in fun medias? Just one or two things. The show seems fun, and after watching the first episode, I'm very intrigued. I feel like I will watch the rest of the series, but she's not seen it for sure. I haven't. I have not. I've seen the first episode. That's what I'm basing this off of. Is their human form a dork? I said nerd alert. And then being very into superheroes in high school does give off big nerd vibes, TBH. And in this picture, he's clearly not the popular kid in this picture, you know? I was folding clothes the whole time, but as always, yeah. Shley's rating doesn't matter. Isn't that what the whole stream's about? She's deciding all of this just based on Ben's video, maybe. Do they have a cool costume? Yeah, it's quite recognizable. You can see, now that we have like the full picture, it is an eye. Omni-Man has the O on his belly. Invincible has it's a lowercase I, but it's there. It is actually pretty iconic. No one else can pull off those colors. I said what I said. Little guy, maybe. The Fishman was my favorite character in the first episode. So it's a maybe. I wish I could see more of him, but I don't know. Maybe he's a little guy. Maybe he isn't. He's not wearing pants, but he is wearing a shirt, and I don't like that happens. He got legs. He need pants. What are Matt's thoughts on Invincible? Only read a few issues. Never watched the show. If you're judging by power set, he's got to be high up there, but I wasn't really thrown into his world. I'll put an 8 out of 10 simply because of his power set. So I'm not basing this off of power set. Matt's going like, this is what the superhero is with their powers. I gave Invincible a 7. I feel like he has room to grow in my heart. I want to watch the rest of the series, but I can't give him more than a 7 with what I know currently. But maybe that will change. I will provide updates in later streams to let you know if this rating has changed at all. Next up we have Rogue from Cyber. And Cyber, my sweet little honey baby Cyber, did provide me with a voice note and then about 20 minutes of an X-Men episode, and I'm scared that I will get kicked off of Twitch if I play the whole video. So we might watch like the first scene and then I can provide a link to the video after the fact so that you can all watch the video. I know Cyber edited it and it's like cut and it's not the entire episode, but I also don't want to never be able to stream again. So we'll just feel it out. We'll see what we're feeling. It is a 23-minute video that she's given me, so we'll see how we feel at points in the video. But let's watch Cyber's video on Rogue.
Hello again. Cybernetica here. I will be talking about the mutant named Rogue. Real name, Anna Marie Laveau. Birthplace, Mississippi. As a kid, I always liked Rogue, and honestly, I can't remember at this point right now why I picked her. But maybe after this presentation I'll remember. Disclaimer, this is all based on the Rogue character from the X-Men animated series from the 1990s. If you're looking for more, I'm not that knowledgeable, sorry. Anyways, Rogue's powers are that she flies and she has super strength and also absorbs life energy and psyche of others. Rogue considers her powers to be a curse, mainly because it's a real damper on kissing her love interest, Gambit. For a second it was going to be Wolverine, but we all know who he's in love with. Anyways, as a way to protect people, she wears gloves and basically covers every inch of her skin. While it might be cool to have other mutants' powers and people's temporary talents, it does a real number on her head. Personally, why I like Rogue is because she's a sweetheart that just wants to be held, and who can't relate to that? Plus she has cool colored hair, and she has an accent, Yes, I know it's a southern accent. Nonetheless, still an accent. She flies. She's heckin' strong. And she's on the side of the X-Men. I also like how she can basically have any kind of powers or talents. She's like not really limited to like a singular thing or like parameter of powers. And now the answers you've been waiting for. Looking at you, Ashley. Are they hot? Yes, and she has colored hair. So it's a yes, yes, yes. Would we want their power? Yes, but only if you don't mind never touching someone else's skin. So, you know, pros and cons here. Are they actually good, or do they destroy cities? Look, every mutant can destroy cities, but the good guys choose not to. And she was always good, but she was taken advantage of before joining the X-Men. Are they fun? Yes. I think she's pretty much, she's a wild time. Is their human form a dork? No. Very normal looking, if that's the thing you're going for, and still very hot. I was winking, but I just realized this is a voice note, so wink wink, still hot. Do they have a cool costume? Meh. It could, personally for me, it could use some work, especially the colors. But it's not bad either. She has this really cool like leather type of jacket and gloves. I like gloves. I love gloves. Mainly because I type a lot at work, so my hands are always cold. And I like to wear fingerless gloves. Gloves with fingers. I don't know. Pick your choice. Anyways, moving on. Bonus question was, are they little, or do they have little guy sidekick? No little guy sidekick, no little guy energy here. It's all big guy energy. But we love her for it. We love her. And so with that, the last thing I will say is the episode I'm presenting is in season 2, and it talks about it basically tells the backstory in the cartoon of Rogue. And the backstory is Professor X is gone / disappeared. But before that, he was helping Rogue because she was having headaches or visions or flashes, or something like that. And we find out that she actually belonged to another mutant group, not, I guess they're bad guys. It was a bad guy group, mutant group, before the X-Men, but she forgot because Professor X made her forget, so she doesn't wind up cuckoo. On the last heist, the bad guys heist, she actually ran into Miss Marvel and ended up absorbing her life. Miss Marvel being Carol Danvers, life meaning powers, memories, allergies, everything. You name it, she absorbed it. And we all know that two minds cannot live in one body. So Professor X made it so that Miss Marvel is suppressed and Rogue can have some kind of a normal life. Hopefully maybe finding a cure or something to it. And yeah, so please enjoy.
Cyber, thank you for submitting an entire episode of a TV show for me to watch on stream. I feel very comfortable about what we just did, and I don't think it was against the rules at all. I almost forget what you said during your voice note portion of the video, but let's move on. We have things to do, we have places to be, we have people to talk about. So let's return to the slideshow. Rogue! I don't remember how to do this, it's been so long. Rogue, are they hot? Wowie! Absolutely! Are you kidding me? Every portrayal of Rogue is wonderful, marvelous. I love them. Wowie. And no one can argue with me, okay? It's just a fact. Would I want their powers? No, they make me really sad. I would not want to have her powers because I would marvelous. Yes, exactly. It's just we just saw how tragic her life is. I would not want any of that. I would not want to deal with any of that. So no, we do not want her powers. Thank you though. Thank you for offering. Are they actually good or do they destroy cities? Maybe they've ruined a thing or two. I looked up a list and it was like 20 things you didn't know about Rogue. She accidentally killed Gambit with a kiss. She killed her first crush with a kiss. She has murdered a lot of people. She's a murderer. Maybe even a serial killer. But she looks good doing it. She looks good doing it, and we can't fight that. We can't argue about it. To be fair, Gambit was horny on main for good. This is true. This is very true. Gambit deserved it. Gambit deserved it. Are they in fun medias? They're in a game. They got comics, they got TV, they got movies, they got Fortnite, they got Marvel vs. Capcom. Rogue's in everything. Rogue travels across the universe to be in different medias. I was fine with murder earlier, so? Who among us has done a death by accident once or twice? Just once or twice. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Rogue's in things. Rogue's got things to do. Is there a human form of dork? I said I think they're cool. Look at all these friends. Pals? People? I wouldn't call Rogue a dork by any means. Not even a nerd. I think they're cool. They probably have friends and plans, you know? Did they have a cool costume? I said it would be a cool Halloween costume. Well, the outfit is cool. I think you might need the hair strip for people to know what you are. This costume comes with a wig. You have to have the strip of hair for people to know who you are. Otherwise, people might think you're a Power Ranger or something. So you gotta have the hair. Does Rogue have a little guy? I said yes. I was looking at the X-Men, and both of these pictures of Cyclops give off strong little guy energy. So I said Cyclops is a little guy. Look at that bottom one. He's like, yeah, I'm Cyclops. So and that's, I would say, yeah, absolutely. It also comes with camel toe. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, what does Matt think? I enjoy that her power set is also her weakness, draining people's energy but unable to touch anyone. I prefer the 90s X-Men adaptation with a southern accent. For that reason, I'll give her a 7.5 out of 10. On paper, draining people's powers and using them doesn't sound as fun as laser eyes or steel claws. But you could steal the laser eyes or steel claws. So I don't know if I agree with Matt on this one. What did Ashley think? A 9! I give Rogue a 9. I like Rogue. Rogue's fun. This is also the only lady submission, and there were bonus points for it being the only lady submission. Ladies are cool. We like women. Women are fun. So Cyber, congratulations on your 9. -1 point for making me so uncomfortable that I had to play an entire episode of a show on my stream. But you're up there. You're up there and you got a 9. Congratulations. Have fun at your concert. I hope it's the most fun. Thank you for the 69 biddies, Serenity. I have alerts off while we're doing this, but the alert says, what? That is ridiculous. So there you go. There's the alert. Thank you for the biddies. I cannot wait to see what happens to this vid. Me too, hoodies. I forgot to record it. Cyber, thank you for the 100 biddies. This one's a doozy. There's my alert. Okay. Who's next? Wizard has submitted Jack Jack from The Incredibles. Oh no, Wizard has cheered 6 bits. It's There's the 6-bit alert. I have to go over to just chatting so that I can pull up Wizard's slideshow. Once again, making me read the presentation, so watch out for your points, okay? Watch out. Wizard's favorite superhero by Wizard. Under my camera, it says a high effort presentation, and you can tell that it's a high effort presentation because accounting for where the camera box would be, it still used that space. I told you I'd call and read it, you ignored my message. Well, oh, I scrolled. It's fine. It's fine. I can read it. It's fine. I don't have Discord open. It's fine. Wizard's favorite superhero is Spider-Man. Oh, but if we all chose Spider-Man, then stream would just look like this. So instead I chose my favorite childhood superhero movie, The Incredibles. But who's the best superhero in the movie? Easy answer. Jack Jack. Why? Let's look at the rubric. Are they hot? Very. Literal fire. Not over 1,000 degrees. Good to know. Good to know. Would I want their power? Absolutely. Why settle for just one power? OP, take your pick. That's too many words to read, and I'm not gonna read them all, but there's a lot of... Here, I'll read them. Polymorphing, metal form, mimicry, monster form, putty form, self-combustion, flame form, size manipulation, smoke form, sparkler form, water form, dimensional travel, electrokinesis, laser vision, levitation, molecular vibration, phasing, superhuman strength and durability, self-duplication, telekinesis, teleportation, superhuman speed, and wall crawling. Are they actually good, or do they destroy cities? Hasn't destroyed a city yet. Definitely could if he misses nap time. Gives off Stitch vibes. Are they in fun medias? Are movies fun medias? Because he's in 4. That sentence got me. I don't know why. He's in 4. Is their human form a dork? Yep. Do they have a cool costume? A little roomy for free movement. The fabric is comfortable for sensitive skin. Can also withstand the temperature of over 1,000 degrees. Completely bulletproof. Machine washable. No cape. Bonus points. Are they Lil, or do they have Lil Guy sidekick? Yes and yes. Bonus Lil Guy content. There's a meme under me that says, me with my favorite superhero, 6 out of 10, Ashley. And I'm Jack Jack, and the 6 out of 10 is Amir, and Wizard is the babysitter. So that's me explaining what's under me right now. And then in the top, it's mods are the babysitter, and I'm Jack. My stream is Jack Jack combusting. So thanks for watching. Is that the last slide? Yeah, that's the last slide. Let's go back over here so that I can open up my presentation again. We're so close to the end, and I'm 20 minutes over what I normally do, but that's fine. That's fine. Present. Okay, let's return. Oh no, a raid. Lilia, hi, hello, welcome in. Hi Slamma, hi Lilia. Thank you for the raid. Hi Death by Cupcake, hi Genshan Impact. Welcome in. Hi everyone. We are Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Hell. We have fun here. Oh no, we are judging. I'm a little judgy today. We're doing a shleyjudges, and my wonderful friends have submitted their favorite superheroes, and I'm judging them. We just saw Wizard's presentation on Jack Jack from The Incredibles, and we're about to go through how I feel about Jack Jack from The Incredibles. So if you want to stick around and see some judgment, that's what we're about to do. So please feel free if you have thoughts and opinions on Jack Jack. That's what we're about to do. If you don't, but if you have thoughts on Deadpool, Deadpool's next. But let's return to the fun. Thank you so much for the raid. If you need to go raid and run, I fully appreciate. I get it. I know how it is. Go get yourself food and water and all of the good things. Thank you so much for bringing your community here. And everyone, if you want to lurk, vibe, chat, whatever you want, we're here for a good time. Except for Wizard. Jack submitted by Wizard. Are they hot? This is a baby wizard. They're not hot. That's weird. So no, Jack Jack is freezing. I'm not going to call a baby hot. That's inappropriate. So starting off terribly. Next, would I want their powers? That seems like a bit much. He has all the powers, and that seems like maybe too many. Because he doesn't really have control over them. But it's just too many powers, and I would feel a little self-conscious if I had all of those things going on. Like, my normal day-to-day is enough. I don't need all of those things on top of it. So I just think it's maybe too many powers. It's just too many. It's too many. Are they actually good, or do they destroy cities? Wizard had me watch Jack Jack attack. It was about 5 minutes long, and he destroyed an entire house in the 5 minutes of the short, and I think that's just rude because houses are expensive. So he landed in the, is that building okay? category of the rubric. Are they in fun medias? I put just one or two things. There's the movies and shorts and maybe other things, I guess. I don't know. Houses are expensive, and then this baby's just around ruining them. Literally less than 4, but okay. I googled how many Incredibles movies are there. And only 2 came up, and the second result is the French. It's the French version of the movie. Is their human form a dork? While I don't like children, I feel morally opposed to calling a baby a dork. So I think they're cool. I don't know. They have so much time to grow into their person. They have so much time to become a dork in the future, but as of right now, I don't feel comfortable deciding if this baby's a dork or not. So I'm just gonna go with that. That's where I am at. Do they have a cool costume? When I looked up Jack Jack costume, this came up, and it's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Babies make me very uncomfortable, and the thought of this. Why couldn't it just have a mask? Why does it have to have the head? Why does it have to have the head part? I hate it. So I put, what is this? Because he's not just naked, but I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. Jack Jack, little guy, yes. But I said it is of note that not all babies are lil guys, but some lil guys are babies. I think that's an important note. Some folks think child, lil guy. No. Absolutely not. But I do think Jack, especially in this picture here, gives off little guy energy. If I redeem wear a hat, will you wear the head on stream one day? No. You change the rule of little guys a lot. No, I don't. It's consistent. It's consistent across the board. Matt's thoughts. Seem to be a MacGuffin superhero. Has every power ever, apparently, since he's just an infant and could provide nothing else. 1 out of 10 simply because he could eventually be good. Oh, I don't want to go to the next slide. I feel bad. Wizard, I feel bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel bad. I don't want to go to the next slide. I think, do I just end the stream? Is Ken still here waiting for Ken's turn? Should I just... This is the last slide on the slideshow. There's not another one. There isn't another slide. It's a 6. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's a 6. Thank you for submitting, Jack Wizard. Also, you didn't record a voice note for your thing, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but 6 is best. Maybe. Next up we have Deadpool. How I unmute? What do you mean, Ken? You can't hear me? Ken, are you okay? Can you hear the stream? We're about to play yours, Ken. We learned that you get points for presentation. My texts weren't showing up in stream. Oh, okay. Next we have Ken talking about Deadpool. So let's just go on. This is our last presentation of the evening, my friends, my folks, my pals. Let's see what Ken has to say about Deadpool.
Greetings. It is I, the ancient Oracle Ken, with another submission to Ashley Judges. This time around we're judging superheroes, and as you can imagine I have only one hero in mind. A powerful warrior brought back from the brink of death in order to fulfill his destiny and change the course of history in so doing. An anti-hero whose cause is righteous but whose methods are unorthodox and morally ambiguous. I'm talking about Deadpool, obviously. That music just kinda happened. Weird. I'm a lazy fan basing my assessment entirely off the movies rather than any of the comics, so hopefully I've enraged everybody listening to this. Let's dive right into the rubric. I should also mention I'm reading off a script, just in case it's not obvious. Are they hot? I mean, it's friggin' Ryan Reynolds, so, I guess it's subjective. I'm sure some people find him ugly. I'm not one of those people. Worth noting, though, Deadpool is not good-looking post-horrific power acquisition phase. Just listen to how they describe him in the movie.
How do I look? You look like somebody turned your face inside out and then just left it like that, but then you got in a house fire. God, you look like a house fire was in another house fire. Wade, you look like a trash can full of shit was placed on your shoulders and then you were in a train fire.
Is he good, or does he destroy cities? It's up in the air. He kind of marches to the beat of his own drum, but generally sides with the good guys. Wade Wilson, Deadpool's alter ego, was a mercenary or gun for hire before becoming Deadpool, and he's hung on to that as Deadpool. As far as destroying cities, I don't think he's any worse than most Marvel characters who end up wrecking shit whenever they're in a fight, but he doesn't really set out to destroy stuff, so there's that. Are they in fun media? Oh, buddy. Aside from the movies, how's this?
It's almost Australia Day. Seriously, I'd fit right in with your proud nation, with its shady criminal past and its predilection for blackout drinking and unrelenting condescension toward New Zealand. Only one teeny problem. You gave us Wolverine, and for that, I can't forgive you. I've got no problems with Hugh. He's a delightful guy, he really is. True legend. But the movie, that was a career low for me. You understand. Anywho, why am I here? Oh, right. Happy Australia Day. Because that's a real thing. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. I know you say that one too. Oh shit, that's a hat. You guys wear this. I thought I was getting swarmed by fucking diddly Australian bees.
There's so much more, and there was another clip I was going to use, but I decided I don't know how Ashley and her audience would appreciate this one being on the channel, so I'm not going to use it. But there's so much more. Please go look for it. There's so much stuff that's just, it's really funny. The marketing campaign for both movies, but in particular the first one, was incredible. Is their human form a dork? Not really. He was a mercenary before becoming Deadpool, which isn't really a dorky thing in my opinion. But he does have a sense of humor that some might call dorky. Subjective. Do they have a cool costume? Skin-tight spandex that really brings out the ass along with a cool mask, so basically like most Marvel heroes. I don't think it's particularly unique or awesome, but it's also not bad per se. I'll give it middle marks, I guess. The little guy question. This is the one everyone's been waiting for. I feel like I could throw a bunch of characters at the wall and eventually one of them might stick as a lil guy, so here goes. Weasel is Wade Wilson's friend who tends the bar the mercenaries hang out at, and he's kind of a lil guy and sidekick type. But he's played by TJ Miller, so F that guy. Deadpool constantly makes fun of Hugh Jackman / Wolverine, and given that Wolverine is a jacked up killing machine with intense body hair and he cuts his enemies to pieces, he's likely the perfect lil guy, so I'm not picking him out of spite. Similarly, Colossus is a recurring character, and as a giant metal Russian man would likely make a perfect lil guy. Again, no, spite. I could go on and on proposing and rejecting each character forever and ever, but I know, and you know, who the real lil guy is. That's right, it's Peter.
And last but not least,
Peter.
Any power you want to tell us about?
I don't have one. I just saw the ad.
You're in.
This concludes my audio essay on why Deadpool is an 11 out of 10 superhero, and mods will ban any dissenters. Bye!
Bye! Thank you, Ken, for your audio submission on Deadpool. This was the last submission, so we just have a couple slides to go. We're almost done. Okay, so starting off. Are they hot? Lukewarm? They did our boy dirty. This is not the same man. They are not the same person. They did our boy dirty in this one. Too hot. Burned even. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That's why I didn't put freezing. But he is lukewarm. What I want their powers. Make me strong. Make me strong. Regeneration seems fun because sometimes I get paper cuts and I would like for them to go away immediately. That's pretty much all I would use it for, but it would be helpful. It would be helpful to have that power. I don't like paper cuts. Okay, let's go. Are they actually good or do they destroy cities? He has fallen into the hello, New York? Because when I typed in Deadpool destroy, the first thing that came up was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. So, so I think he falls under the hello New York because he's destroyed the entire Marvel Universe at least twice. I don't know how many times in the series this has been. Again, makes it seem like it's continuous. It's going on and on and on. So I don't think he's a good guy. Are they in fun medias? He's got his comics and his movies. At this point, I got tired of Googling things and I just typed in comic book on Canva and then I typed in movie on Canva. So that's what you get because you're the last one to sign up. So I was done making the slideshow by this point. Is their human form a dork? He's in between Nerd Alert and I think they're cool because I literally can't tell if people like him or if he's just funny. So I don't know if he has friends. So that's all I have. That's all I have. Also video games and some shows. He has a scene in Ultimate Alliance 3 that literally killed me. Well, I didn't see that, so. Do they have a cool costume? And I put a cool Halloween costume. And then I thought it's kind of just black and red. So I ended up on reading an essay on character design and costume color theory and why they choose certain colors for certain heroes and villains, and I ended up with this, and the essay said, black and red are colors for dark passion. This makes sense for Carnage, who's fueled by rage. Harley Quinn's red and black is tempered by a white accent that reminds us she has a pure side. She commits evil for the love of Joker rather than hate of Gothamites. Red and black also signify heroes closer to the edge of villainy, like Deadpool and Spawn. So I read an entire essay on color theory of heroes' costumes because I was like, is it the most recognizable? There's other people that have these colors. So thank you for expanding my knowledge on color theory of costumes, I guess. And does he have a little guy? Yes, I am very proud of Ken for finally understanding little guy energy. He gets it, he understands, he knows. This is absolutely a little guy, and I'm proud of Ken for learning. He's been here, he's been paying attention, he gets it, he knows. Deadpool has a little guy, and it's Peter. Matt's thoughts. Consistently humorous and based outside the dark and gritty superhero series, power set is simply he can't die and can't stop talking. For me, that's a 9 out of 10 character. There's no little guy metric, it's just a randomized scam. It's not daft. It's not. This ain't it. Once again, Shley's little guy Peter is busted. No! So, Ken, Deadpool. A 7? That's fine, right? It's not terrible. He's fun. Sometimes the movies are a little raunchy. He's a little raunchy, but he gets there. He does it. He's got a 7. So that's all of our superheroes. I would like to once again thank Northsea, Nick, Aki, Kim, Ben, Cyber, Wizard, and Ken for signing up for this, for all of the work they put in, minus Kim, and for allowing me to judge your favorite things, and not being mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. We're all friends here, and it's a joke, right? We get it. It's for fun, and we're not mad at Ashley because she has to pick numbers, and they can't all be 10 out of 10. So we have to understand that not everything can be a 10 out of 10. So let's see the tier list. Oh. In S, obviously the Hulk. Obviously the Hulk is S tier. There's nothing better. Nothing better. But in A, we do have Batman and Rogue. They're up there. They're trying their best. They're doing everything they can. B, we have Thor and Spider-Man. We do love our Avengers. They're here, they're trying to save the world, but sometimes they're destroying it too. C, we've got Moon Knight, we've got Invincible, we've got Deadpool. And then in D, we have Jack. Batman is S tier too. I have a voice recorded evidence. No, you don't. The Hulk destroys it the most. What? Hulk is a 10. So that's the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you everyone for putting things together. I appreciate that we got to watch all of these beautiful, wonderful videos come to life. We watched an entire episode of the X-Men. Things happened. They launched him into space. Yeah. He needed a nap, and sometimes I need a nap too, and I get it. I understand him. We're on the same page. We understand each other. But it is 40 minutes after I planned on ending stream, so we're just gonna just gonna see who we're gonna raid out to. Good luck with popcorn kernels in everyone's teeth. I think I'm gonna have to make popcorn when I get home because I've been thinking about it for the last 2 hours and 40 minutes. Sometimes you just need to get launched into space for a little timeout. Exactly. Just a 600-second timeout. It's fine. Oh, where are we going? We gotta see where we're going. This is a bit of a bop. I know who we haven't had a chance to raid for a while, but they've been live for 10 hours and 25 minutes, so I don't know how much longer they're going for. But we'll go say hi. We can go say hi. Thanks for the stream. Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope you had fun. I hope this was a good use of your Wednesday night. I will see you all. Oh! I'm taking a vacation next week. I'm off from work and I'm gonna be off from stream. I'm just having a week of not doing anything. So I will see you in the last week of November. There's still gonna be a Monday and Wednesday stream in November, right? That's how months work. I'll see you at the end of the month. I'm taking... Thank you, Daft. That is exactly how I speak. I'll see you. What day will it be? What day will it be? It will be the 28th. I'll be back on the 28th. I don't know what we'll play. Maybe we'll return to Chrono Trigger. Maybe we won't. I can't make promises. But we're gonna go say hi to Kale. Kale's been live for 10 hours and 26 minutes. So I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's had dinner. I don't know. She turned in tomorrow, 64 when you went live. I'm only streaming until Shley's live. Oh no. Kale, did he know? Did he get my go live noti? Did he forget? Did Kale forget I exist? Hey, raid noti is gonna be, Kale, did you forget Ashley exists? How rude. That's gonna be our raid message. Please copy that. Be prepared. Be prepared. We're gonna be mad at Kale. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go raid. Sometimes Kyle, please stick around for the raid. Please go say hi, please vibe. Kale's very nice, but we're gonna be mean to him just for a minute and then we can be nice to him. That's that's how we work around here. But I hope you all have a good night. I hope you have a good week next week, and I will see you on the 28th. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you later. Bye! Here's the dog. Rhodey, can you sit? Okay, can you give me paw? Paw? Other paw? Other paw? And then can you stand up? Oh, what a good guy! And then he's gonna go eat it. Not here. A duck?